Congratulations, LSU class of 2020, and welcome to this new stage of life. Do you struggle finding the things that you need? Are you guilty of maybe having a little bit too many things for the space that you have? Are there piles of clutter all over your home? Do you struggle getting out the door on time? If so, you may be struggling with disorganization. My name is Alyssa Trosclair, and I am Louisiana's only certified professional organizer. I started my company Emend in 2006 after graduating from LSU in 2002 with a degree in information systems and decision sciences, and again in 2004 with an MBA with a concentration in organizational development. My goals with working with my client are, of course, to make their spaces and their homes beautiful and organized. But most importantly, it is to teach them the skills that they need to maintain that organized space. Lots of my clients call me in their 20s and 30s and 40s as they're trying to navigate through adulting and having a job and raising a family and maintaining a home, and they just haven't learned the proper skills on how to be organized when they were younger. So adulting can take quite a bit of adjusting, but there is one thing that can make it all easier, and that is being organized. Organization can help you in all aspects of your life, from getting dressed in the morning to getting out the door on time to making sure you have all the necessary materials that you need for that big important presentation. I unfortunately will not be able to change your life in this short video, but what I do want to accomplish with the time that I have with you is to teach you the 5-step process that I teach all of my clients on how to get and stay organized. I want to show you how you can apply it to different aspects of your life, and I want you to encourage you to practice it over time and get better at this skill of organizing. And with that, I'm going to start my presentation for you. So what does being organized mean? Well, I can tell you it doesn't necessarily mean what it looks like in this photo or what you may see on certain Netflix shows or on Instagram or Pinterest. What you're seeing in this photo and what you see in these other outlets, it's really photo styled pictures trying to give you the image of what an organized room should look like. But if you really investigate these pictures, they're not real. I mean, you can see the picture that I'm showing you now. This person has basically no clothes and it's all white, and it's one pair of pants and about 4 shirts. It's just, that's not reality. So what I want to tell you is organization is not how it looks, but it's how it functions. And I don't want you to think that your home is a failure or not organized if it doesn't look like what you're seeing on Instagram or Pinterest. Those are not reality. The visual impact of these pictures is great, but it's an unrealistic way for you to maintain your home. If you know how to find what you need when you need it, and how to put your hands on it right away, then technically you are organized. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. It just matters if you can function in the space and if the space allows you to effectively use it as you want to. So why is organization important? Well, I will tell you this. If this is what your desk looks like at work or at home, you're not going to be as productive as you could be. Life is full of unavoidable stresses, and organization is something that you can implement to help you avoid unnecessary stress. If this is what your desk looks like, I guarantee you are going to run into stresses that you could avoid if this was an organized space. Organization leads to increased productivity. It gives you more time to do the things that you enjoy and less times doing the stressful things like looking for things that you know you have. It helps you waste less money because you know what you have and you avoid the temptation to just go out and rebuy something whenever you can't find it. It also allows you to live a life with less embarrassment or guilt. Imagine a surprise guest coming knock on your door. Are you too embarrassed to let them in, or would you like to welcome them into your organized home? It also allows you to maximize the space that you have available for you. The good news about organizing is it's not a talent, it's a skill. So it doesn't have to be something that you're either born with or not born with. If you practice it over and over, you can get better and improve, even if you consider yourself not a very organized person. So let me get into the 5-step process that I teach to my clients. So the first step is to explore. This is when you set goals and you explore what you want to accomplish in the space. You're going to ask yourself, what's working in this space? What's not working in this space? The things that are working, leave them alone, but really focus your efforts addressing the things that are not working for you in the space. And what are you trying to accomplish in the space that you can't do now? By setting those goals, you give yourself a vision of what you're working towards, and it helps sort of keep you centered with that project. Then the next step is to merge, and this is when we get the like items together so that we can determine what you already have. You want to group things together by purpose. It tends to be when I go into my clients' homes that they tend to put things away just wherever there's space. They don't necessarily put like things together. So for instance, things like gift wrap may be in 12 different sections in their home. And when it actually comes time to buy a gift, it's too stressful to find what they need. So they just go to the store and buy more gift wrap or a gift bag. We want to help our clients put things in a space with intention and where it makes sense, not necessarily where there was an empty space. So our next step is to edit. Once all your like items are together and put into a group, you want to make a decision about what needs to be kept, what needs to be donated, and what needs to be disposed of. Unfortunately, the 80-20 rule applies to most spaces in your home. You probably use about 20% of what's in your home and 80% of it you don't. And it's not to say that you need to get rid of everything you don't touch on a daily basis, but we want to lessen that 80% and to make sure your home is filled with items that you actually do use in your home. And then the fourth step will be the nesting, and that is where you find a permanent home for the items that you wish to keep. So again, we want to give each space in your home a purpose, and we want to be intentional with it. We want to find a spot for these homes and what we call contain them. This is the phase of the project where we're going to be buying containers and things like that. And I want to show you a picture of a space. This is a pantry in which we use containers to contain her things. And I want to talk you through the important part of this. Why do we put things in containers? So this pantry was big shelves, like 8-foot long shelves. If you just try to line things up on those shelves, they will over time start spilling over into each other and things will get hidden behind each other and it will just create a disorganized mess. By adding containers, you help keep the like items in your space together. They also do a few other important things. They act as a boundary. So let's say you have a container for your peanut butter and you have filled that space with 2 or 3 peanut butters. You now know that you don't need any more peanut butter and you can't exceed that boundary that you set for peanut butter. So why is this important? Well, number one, it helps you to use what you have and not go searching for the peanut butter when you need it, but it will help you with saving money as well. You can visually see when you're running low on something when that container is empty. And so that helps you with creating your shopping list. So instead of going to the store and saying, do I have peanut butter? I don't know, I better get it just in case. And then you end up with 6 peanut butters at home. Those containers are very important with helping keep like items together and also creating that boundary so you know when you need to purchase more. And listen, these containers that we have on this picture, they are beautiful. They also come with a price tag. And so just know if you don't have the budget yet for all matching new containers, that's okay. just use what you have. I've seen clients repurpose shoe boxes or Amazon boxes if necessary. They all function the same way. And so just work with your budget and use what you have or what you can get in order to subdivide that large space and keep it contained into these different categories. The next step is to develop. So once everything is set up in your home and in the space that makes sense and in containers that are labeled for you, then you need to set up a system and a strategy to help you maintain that system. So once that room is in place, it's not this magic wand that will stay that way forever. It takes work, it takes effort. But again, remember that organizing is a skill. So the more you practice it, the better you're going to be at it and the better you'll be at maintaining that space. You can read about organization. You can watch all the shows you want about organization. You can look at all the Instagram and Pinterest pictures you want. But until you put it in place into your home and practice it, you will not get better. So with that, I want to show you how you can take these 5 steps and implement it into certain areas in your home. So for instance, let's start with a closet. This is an area that lots of people struggle with, and they call me in quite a bit for closets. If this is what your closet looks like and your temptation is to open that door and then shut it immediately because you're overwhelmed, you are not alone. This is what most of my clients do. And it's why I have a job, because I can go in and help them through being stuck. But I'll give you a few tips on how you can prevent being stuck and to get your closet organized. So first thing you're going to do is set your goal as to what you are trying to accomplish in that space. And then start merging like categories together. Don't think of your closet as having to be done all at once. Try to break it into smaller categories that are a little bit more manageable for you to make decisions on. So for instance, start grouping all your t-shirts together, all your dresses, all your scarves, all your shoes, and then focus on editing just one of those categories at a time. So if, let's say you're trying to go through your t-shirts and you're trying to decide what to keep and what to get rid of, start with the easy things first. Look at them. If they're stained, if they're ripped, if they need repair, and you're not going to get it repaired, then those are the things that just go ahead and let them go. Think about too, maybe look at your clothes as different phases of your life. Your clothes from high school, is it maybe time to let that go? I mean, after all, you're entering this new stage of adulting. So maybe it makes sense to let go of those high school clothes and focus on your new career going forward and your new life moving forward. And live in the now. It's very common for my clients to say that their weight fluctuates, so they have a few different sizes in their closet. I understand if your weight goes up 1 or 2 sizes, up or down 1 or 2 sizes, you're not going to go buy a new wardrobe every time you lose 5 or 10 pounds. So what I encourage you to do is live in the now. Only have what's hanging on your rods or right in front of your face be the clothes that physically fit you at this moment. All the other clothes, box it up, label it too big, too small, put the size on it, and put that either somewhere up high in your closet or maybe under your bed, but get it out of the space that you put your eyes on every day. What's the reason for this? Well, the reason is organization is supposed to make your life easier. And so if you're getting up and you're trying to get dressed in the morning to get to work, you obviously want to get out of the door on time, but you want to have a stress-free morning leading up to that. And if you have to try on 12 different pairs of pants before you can decide which one fits you, that is wasting time. It's causing you stress that doesn't need to happen. So just put the clothes that fit you in your closet. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, you can see what options you realistically have that will fit your body for that day. Another, I know you've probably heard, if you haven't worn it in 6 months or a year, get rid of it. But I see my clients and they kind of fool themselves with that. They'll tell themselves they've worn it for in 6 months or a year, but really they haven't. So one trick that you can do to not fool yourself is when you go to organize your closet, hang all the hangers facing you instead of facing in like you see it in this photo. Then as you wear the items and you do your laundry and put them back into your closet, hook the hangers the correct way, like you see in the photo. Then after a season is over, you can physically look into your closet and see which hangers are still turned the wrong way, and you know that you did not wear those clothes that season. So it's a very good tip to help you realistically see what you are wearing in your closet. A couple of questions I like. One of my favorite questions I like to ask myself when I'm purging clothes is, if I saw it in the store, would I buy it now? And it's true. Sometimes you just have clothes in your closet that has been part of your wardrobe for a while. But really, if you saw it in the store right now, would it be something that you would repurchase? If the answer is no, I would say it is time to get rid of it. Another tip you may have seen is the one in, one out rule. So if you, for instance, buy a new shirt, then you have to get rid of one of the shirts in your closet before you can bring it home. That is a great rule if you are trying to keep the inventory in your closet the same. But if you have too much clothes and you're trying to reduce that amount of clothes, your rule may be a little different. Maybe it's, if you buy one piece of clothing, you have to get rid of 2 or 3. So over time, the amount of your clothes is being reduced in the closet as you're purchasing new items. This is a really good, the one in, one out, or one in, two out, whatever you want to do, is a really good rule on how to help you maintain that space. I don't want to say you could never go shopping again once you're organized. Of course not. We all want to buy new clothes and feel good about the new clothes that we have, but you just have to be able to keep it to a minimum. And then if you're a very analytical person, maybe what you want to do is, before you even go into your closet, come up with a number of a particular item that you would like to have. For instance, tennis shoes. I want to have 3 pairs of tennis shoes. I want to have 5 pairs of jeans. If you have that number in your mind before you go and actually physically touch all your items, instead of deciding with each item, do I want to keep this or do I not want to keep this, what you're doing instead is looking for your 3 favorite pair of tennis shoes or your 5 favorite pairs of jeans. It's a way to kind of filter out the emotional part of purging for you. And once you decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of, the things that you're going to keep, you want to put the things that you use most often between where your eyes and your knees are. That's what we call the prime real estate in organizing. That's where you have easy access to those items. The things that you don't use as much, you want to probably put a little higher or lower in your closet. I've seen people do, I mean, we live in Louisiana, so it's not cold here all the time. So sometimes sweaters and things like that are what we put up high, and we save the prime real estate for things like t-shirts and regular clothes that we wear more often. Okay, I'm going to show you the next topic of paper. Paper is something else that lots of my clients struggle with. If that is you, well, first what we're going to do is get rid of what we don't need. So when it comes to paper organization, you're going to either trash or recycle the things that you don't want, and then you're going to nest the things that you do want, usually in some sort of filing system or filing cabinet. If you send an email to me, I am happy to send you a page that I have that outlines exactly how long you should keep each particular type of paper. I don't have time to go over that in this presentation today, but in general, your CPA will usually recommend that you keep your taxes and anything related to taxes for 5 to 7 years. So anything that supports your tax documents, you'd be keeping for anywhere between 5 to 7 years, depending on your CPA. Those papers are usually things you don't need access to a lot. It's just kind of legally you have to keep them in case you get audited. But I suggest that you keep those papers boxed up and put somewhere high in a closet or down low under a bed, because you don't need access to them every day. We want to keep a filing system easy for you and uncluttered with the things that you actually use on a daily basis or more of a monthly basis. So if you struggle with paper, first thing that you're going to want to do is stop paper from coming in, because paper is one of those things that will easily overtake your life. One thing that you can do is sign up for the do not mail list. If you Google a do not mail list, you'll come up with a couple of links that you can sign up for that will actually stop junk mail and things like insurance, enticements and credit card offers from coming into your home. If it doesn't come in, it's less stuff that you actually have to deal with. Also, if you find yourself receiving catalogs that you may or may not want, you can turn to the back of that catalog and there will be a phone number, and you can call that phone number and request that you be removed from the catalog mailing list. You will see this increase in the next couple of months as Christmas comes around. Pretty much every store you have purchased from will be sending you a catalog when it comes time to the holidays. So just remove yourself from that list so it's less paper that's coming in for you to deal with. Paper, I find with my clients, it usually stacks up because of procrastination. So one thing that I never want you to have is a to be filed stack. Your filing system should be so easy and so uncluttered that it only takes you between 5 and 10 seconds to put a paper in its proper place without having to stick it in a pile to be filed later. If you hate dealing with paperwork, or you are delaying working on a project and you find that that paperwork is stacking up, I just want you to remember this tip. If you despise these things and you're trying to avoid it, there is nothing about future you that is going to work on it that present you does not want to do. So there's going to be no magic bullet that appears in a day or a week that's going to make you want to file papers, or that's going to make you want to finish that big project. It's just, the quicker you can learn that the sooner I do it, I get it out the way, and the less stress it's going to cause me in life, that is going to be a huge adulting tip. And you may want to watch, there's a time management video, and I think that they address some things like this about getting projects done in a timely manner. Just know this, the opposite of procrastination is getting started. So if you can just start, you are, by definition, not procrastinating. And I bet the sooner you get it started, the sooner you'll see that you'll get more done than you thought you will. And you'll be able to finish those projects and stop having papers laying around because they need action taken upon them. Another big area is emails. You'll find that when you start your new jobs and your new careers, that very quickly your inbox will start piling up and becoming disorganized. So again, with this, you want to go ahead and unsubscribe to any unwanted emails that you can. A tip I have for you is separate kind of more of your active email address that you actually want to receive current communication with, versus one that you use for shopping. So anytime that you would shop, have a separate email address that you use when you sign up for those accounts and place that order, and leave your main email address not associated with anything shopping. You will notice that the shopping email address will fill up with hundreds of emails even a day with all the stores that you have shopped from. They will probably email you on a daily basis with their latest and greatest offers. You don't want that to be cluttered up with your main email address, and because then you're going to miss things that are super important that you needed to act on because they're buried under hundreds of junk emails from different companies. Go ahead, and any of those emails that you don't want to receive from companies, go ahead and unsubscribe to them. It will stop them from coming in. It will save you many hours during the week of not having to delete all these emails. Also, do not CC people on an email unless it is completely necessary, because then you're causing them to have extra emails coming into their inbox that they don't need. And you'll also find yourself, as you're working, that you will be included on a group email, and in the beginning it's necessary that you're on there, and then suddenly the conversation takes a different turn and it no longer involves you. Just remove yourself from that email chain so that you can stop getting those emails that are cluttering your inbox that have nothing to do with you at all. Once you see your inbox, go ahead and follow that process of merging the like items together. find any emails that are related to anything that you can find, any commonality, any category that you can, and create folders related to this and file those emails into those folders. Resist the temptation to use your inbox as a to-do list. Again, procrastinating isn't helping. If there's something that needs action, try to get it done as soon as you can, because if you don't, it will get buried in underneath hundreds of other emails very quickly, and then you are way likely to forget about it. So with that, here's my contact information. I'm happy to send you that list of how long you should keep different types of paperwork. And anything else that you need, I am happy to help you. This is all my contact information. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I also have a blog through my website that offers good practical advice on getting realistically organized. And with that, I wish you the best of luck in the future, and go Tigers. Mm-hmm.